Hello friends, myself Srimati Shital Yash Shewale from RBH Kanya Junior College, Malegaon Camp welcomes to you in our today's online session in chemistry for 12th science. In today's session, we will see magnetic properties of transition metals. Transition metals. The compounds of transition metals exhibit magnetic properties due to unpaired electrons present in d orbitals. First we see diamagnetic substances. Those are the substances which are weakly magnetized when they are placed into external magnetic field in a direction opposite to the direction of applied magnetic field are called as diamagnetic substances, and the magnetism exhibited by these substances is called as diamagnetism. Means diamagnetic substances are repelled to external magnetic field. Then next to this is paramagnetic substances. Those are the substances which are weakly magnetized when they are placed into external magnetic field in the same direction of the applied field are called as paramagnetic substances. Means paramagnetic substances are attracted by the external magnetic field. They tend to move from weaker to stronger part of the field. The magnetism exhibited by these substances is called as paramagnetism. Then next to this is ferromagnetic substances. Those are the substances which are strongly magnetized in an external magnetic field in the same direction as the external applied field and retain its magnetic moment even after the removal of the external magnetic field are called as ferromagnetic substances. They having a very strong tendency to move from weaker to stronger parts of the external field. The magnetism exhibited by these substances is called as ferromagnetism. The transition metals like iron, cobalt and nickel are ferromagnetic. When magnetic field is applied externally, all the unpaired electrons in these metals and their compounds align in the direction of the applied magnetic field. Due to this, the magnetic susceptibility is enhanced. These metals can be magnetized, and that is, they acquire permanent magnetic moments. The magnetic moment arises due to the presence of unpaired electrons. The magnetic moment depends upon the sum of orbitals and spin contribution for each unpaired electron present in the spaces. In transition metal ions, the contribution of orbital magnetic moment is suppressed by the electrostatic field of other atoms, molecules or ions surrounding the metal ion in the compound. Hence, the net or effective magnetic moment arises mainly due to the spin of electrons. The effective magnetic moment, that is mu effective, of paramagnetic substances is given by spin only formula and represented by mu is equal to under root n in bracket n plus 2, where this n is the number of unpaired electrons. This n is the number of unpaired electrons. This is the spin only formula. This magnetic moment is denoted by mu and expressed into Bohr magneton. Its unit is Bm, Bohr magneton. Then here is the table is given the calculated and observed magnetic moments of cations of 3D series. From scandium to zinc, there are the various magnetic moments of cations of 3D series are listed in this table. The observed values and calculated values shows slight difference. Then there is the one problem. Calculate the spin-only magnetic moment of divalent cation of transition metal with atomic number 25. Solution. The element with atomic number 25 electronic configuration for its divalent cation. Here divalent cation, di means 2, cation means positively charged. There are the two positive charges are on this cation. When any atom loses 2 electrons, then 2 positive charges are formed. Means there are only 23, atomic number is 23 for divalent cation. The electronic configuration is argon having 18 electrons plus 3d5. 18 plus 5, there are 23, and 4s orbital is empty. Therefore, there are 5 unpaired electrons. So, small n is the number of unpaired electrons is 5. Put up the value of n into this formula. Mu is equal to under root 5 into 5 plus 2. 7 into 5, 35, under root of 35 is 5.92 bm. In this way, we can calculate spin-only magnetic moment of various ions in 3D transition series. Then next to this is catalytic properties of transition metals. Catalyst is a substance that can added to reaction to increase the rate of reaction without getting consumed in this process. Catalysts generally speed up the reaction by reducing the activation energy of reaction or by changing the mechanism of reaction. There are two types of catalysts, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous catalysts are those which exist in the same phase as that of reactants, while the heterogeneous catalysts are in different phase that of reactants. The heterogeneous catalyst involves solid catalyst. The catalytic properties of transition metals are because of they having availability of 3d and 4s electrons and having a similar successive ionization energies which allow them to change easily between different oxidation states, that is in homogeneous catalysis. Or also they having empty orbitals which can be used to make temporary bonds, that is in case of heterogeneous catalysis. The heterogeneous catalysis, the examples, nickel is used as a catalyst in conversion of alkenes to alkanes. Means ethene CH2 double bond CH2 plus S2 gas. Nickel is used as catalyst at 140 degrees Celsius to produce ethane. Then iron is used as a catalyst in Haber's process for the manufacture of ammonia. Then palladium and platinum are catalysts used for many reactions. Their mixture increases the rate of reaction. Also, manganese dioxide in the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Also, manganese dioxide acts as a catalyst for the decomposition of potassium chlorate. Then, cobalt is used in the manufacture of vitamin B12. These are the some of the catalytic uses of transition elements as a heterogeneous catalyst. Then next to this is interstitial compounds. The interstitial compounds of transition metals are those which are formed when small atoms like hydrogen, carbon or nitrogen are trapped inside the interstitial vacant spaces in the crystal lattice of metals. In these compounds, the transition metals have defects in their crystal lattices. The interstitial compounds are generally non-stoichiometric, hence cannot be represented by a definite chemical composition. They are neither ionic nor covalent. These compounds having a variable compositions depending upon the method of their preparation. The impurities in the crystal lattice of the metal provide new properties to the metals. Means these transition metals react with the elements like hydrogen, carbon and nitrogen or boron to form interstitial compounds. Then steel and cast iron are the interstitial compounds of iron which are formed with carbon. In the formation of these compounds, the malleability and ductility of iron are lost to a great extent, but the tenacity of the metal increases. Tenacity means to break, resist to break or tensile strength of this steel is increases. Then some of the properties of interstitial compounds. They are hard, good conductors of heat and electricity. The chemical properties are similar to that of parent metal. Their melting points are higher than pure metals. Their densities are less than parent metal. The metallic carbides are chemically inert and extremely hard as a diamond. Hydrides of transition metals are used as a powerful reducing agent. Metallic carbides means when transition metal reacts with this carbon, then metallic carbides are formed, and these carbides are chemically inert and extremely hard as a diamond. Then hydrides, when transition metal reacts with hydrogen to form hydrides, these hydrides are used as a powerful reducing agents. These are some of the properties of interstitial compounds. Then next to this is alloy formation. The transition metals forms a large number of alloys among themselves, which are hard and having a high melting points. The tendency of transition metals to form alloys is due to their similar atomic sizes or differing in 15%, so that in metal crystal lattice one atom can be replaced by the atom of other metal, forming a solid solution called alloy. In the molten state, transition metals are miscible with one another, which on cooling forming a solid alloys. Transition metals also form alloys with non-transition metals like bronze. For example, copper and tin form a alloy called as bronze. There are two types of alloys are formed: ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous alloys having atoms of other elements distributed randomly in atoms of iron in the mixture. As the percentage of iron is more, they are termed as ferrous alloys. For example, nickel steel, chromium steel, stainless steel, these are the alloys of iron. All steel having a 2% carbon. Then second type is non-ferrous alloys are formed by mixing atoms of transition metal other than iron with a non-transition element. For example, brass, which is an alloy of copper and zinc. Ferrous and non-ferrous alloys are of industrial importance. Then uses of alloys. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, is a tough, strong and corrosion resistant. It is used for making statues, medals and trophies. Then second is cupra nickel, an alloy of copper and nickel. It is used making machinery parts of marine ships, boats, for example, marine condenser tubes. Then stainless steel are used in the construction of outer fuselage of ultra high speed aircraft. Then nichrome, an alloy of nickel and chromium in the ratio 18 as to 20. 18% nickel and 20% chromium has been developed specifically for gas turbine engines. Nichrome. Then titanium alloys withstand stress up to high temperature and are used for ultra high speed flights. fireproof bulkheads, and exhaust shrouds. These are the uses of alloys. Then physical properties of transition elements. All the D block elements are lustrous and shining. They are hard and have high densities. They are having a high melting and boiling points. They are good electrical and thermal conductors. They are having high tensile strength and malleability. They can form alloys with transition and non-transition elements. Many metals and their compounds are paramagnetic. Most of the metals are efficient catalysts. These are the some of the physical properties of transition elements. Then next to this is chemical properties. All the D block elements are electropositive metals. They exhibit variable valences and form colored salts and complexes. They are good reducing agents. They form insoluble oxides and hydroxides. Iron, cobalt, copper, molybdenum, and zinc are biological important metals. These catalyze biological reactions. These are the some of the chemical properties of transition